What I have here to share with you today is my adaptation of a hobo stove. So I made this about 10 years ago, and I wanted to share it because lately I have been watching a hobo series on the Waypoint Survival channel, and he reviews and discusses the hobo lifestyle and reviews the gear that they used. And that inspired me to dig this out and just to give you a review of what I put together here. So to begin with, a philosophy that I practice when I'm walking on a trail or I'm in the outdoors is I do not want to make noise. So when you pack this thing up, I give it a good shake and make sure that I don't have any metal on metal clanging around. A good rule that I follow is anything that makes a louder noise than my footsteps is too much noise. So I make sure that all the contents here are nice and secure. Now, the entire weight of this in the current configuration is about 2 pounds. And let's get right to it. And I think that's 2 pounds that gives me a big bang for the buck. All right, so I have a plastic sheath here that protects the stove itself. And all this is a Folgers container that had the inserts for the handholds, and I cut those out and then just sliced through the top here to make it easier to sleeve onto the stove. Now the red plastic goes on here. And let me go ahead and unpack this. On top, I have a grill that is fashioned to fit into place. And I believe that I manufactured this out of a small grill that you could pick up at a Home Depot or a Walmart or whatever. Now, I have a series of nesting pots inside here. Let me just pull things out as I pack them. I use my favorite fire starter. These are no nonsense. It's Vaseline coated in cotton. I also have some paraffin candle type material here to burn, but these burn very long and it's going to catch your tinder on fire very quickly. So I don't like messing around with other methods. The other methods are backup methods. So you carry your flint striker. Okay, here I have a spoon that I've adapted to fit inside the container, but also it holds and fits very securely in my fingers, and it makes for a very effective and efficient eating utensil. And then I also carry, I'll bring those out last. Let me get this. These are the nesting pots here. So, beginning with the first one, the Ziploc bag here is a carbon protector, so I'm not getting the container that it sits in contaminated with carbon. So that's just a sleeve for that. And then inside the top container is a mixture of salt and pepper. And I label whatever concoctions I put together because I might not be the only one that has access to this, and I want whoever is picking this up to know what is inside it. So this is coarse sea salt and black pepper. And I have coffee. I carry various amounts. And for today's demonstration video, I will go ahead and cook up a cup of coffee. And then my primary method of starting a fire is, to me, the most important invention in the 20th century is self-contained butane with a flint and a striker. And, when you think of our history of being humans on this planet, fire became very important to us. And, we don't think anything of it these days. We just, fire is everywhere. We can make it. But I carry quite a few of these, and you can get hundreds of strikes out of each one. The benefit of using a Vaseline type fire starter or a paraffin is very easy and rapid ignition. You don't have to keep your flame on. Usually all it takes is just one strike and you're good to go. So these will last a very, very long time. And I also have just a pocket knife for processing any food or whittling away any tinder that I might need to feed my stove. And another lighter here. Okay, now the can itself is constructed with a handle on top, and you can use the bent spoon to pick that up off the stove and get it out of the way. But I'll show you another method that I use for doing that as well. Now, if this is something that you wanted to recreate, you need to have a different type of can opener. This is an electric one that pushes the seam to release the lid so it doesn't cut it. And therefore the interior lip is from the factory, it's not sharp, and you're able to then go and drill holes, fashion a wire, and make a handle that way. So I sized my handle to the same diameter as the can. Okay, the next pot is the same thing, but this is, let me pull this out here. This has also got a plastic sleeve to keep the interior of my coffee cup unsoiled. And it also has a bale type lid, a bale type handle on top. This is a GSR pot. It's not a cooking pot. These are the cooking pots here, and also if I need to boil water for coffee, I use these cans. And I do not use this. I try not to use this over the fire, especially if you plan to drink coffee, because this will heat up and burn your lips. Okay, next I do carry lava rock in here. I put lava rock on the bottom of the can, and that's just to keep the hot coals from burning through the bottom of the can. It extends the life of your stove. And then I have a scrub brush to clean the pots. And finally, I have lids for all these. So this is a pickle jar lid that all I did was just bend the interior of the lip, and it fits really nice. It's got a good, almost snug fit to it. So that's from a Mount Olive pickle jar. And it's very useful if you want to keep the flies away from your food. And then I have lids here, since there's a lip, and this is the original lid. After fashioning the handle, there's a notch here so I can make it fit snug. But you got to have it up like that, and then the notch goes down around the, let me see here. It is a snug fit. Push that in just a little bit more. Okay. And should go on there. It normally doesn't give me this problem. I'm just probably going to turn it around here. Anytime you want to demonstrate something, Murphy stands up and says, "Nope, I'm going to give you a little problem here." There we go. Okay. So that's nice and secure, and you can rotate the lid just a little bit, and it's not going to fall off. And it's just another addition here to the can itself. Now you'll notice that these have a very dark patina. And what I did was I seasoned these much like you would season cast iron. Although it is a tin type material, it did season nicely, and I believe that I have about 3 or 4 coats of vegetable oil, I believe is what I used, on the inside and out. And you keep going until you're happy with the patina, and also ensure that it's not sticking, and that lets you know that you've successfully put a good patina on your can. Okay, so there's also a lid for this as well. It also fits snugly. You can see on this one it has 2 notches to accommodate for the handle. So these again are the cookers and the boilers. Now this here is another 20th century marvel that I really like, because if I don't want to pick my can up with the lid, the handle, I can just go on top of the stove and see here, go like that and just pick it up. This is a very good heat insulator, and it's not going to burn your hand. And I can move it from the stove. I could also hold on to it as I'm eating, and if I've got a hot container there to deal with, or I wear gloves. All right, that covers the contents. Now let's go ahead and cook up some coffee, which I certainly need a cup this morning. This is my setup. I have my boiler here full of water. I've got my coffee cup all ready to go. I have the lava rock in the bottom, and I have a Vaseline cotton pad ready to be lit up. It doesn't take much wood to get the fire going here. So we'll go ahead, start this up. Trying to do this with a camera can be a little difficult. Okay, there we go. Get that centered. Okay, and then in the beginning, you can feed the fire from the top before you put the grill, which is what I do. Just layer some wood in there like that. And maybe one down here. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and let that get started. Now, on the can itself, it has a feeder here. So once I get my grill on top, I'll just feed my small pieces of wood through there. And this shouldn't take that long. Okay, so once your tinder is burned down inside the can, you can then fit the grill on top, and try and do this one-handed without getting burned here, with the aid of a stick. And the design of this thing is it'll fit snugly just like that, so it's not going to go anywhere. And the lid is on there. Now, got my water here, and I guess I'll just use my spoon for demonstration. But you just pick it up and set it on top, and we'll just let it go. Now the other can that I have is smaller, and you can put both cans on there if you want to do cooking simultaneously. Normally I would just use coals if I'm cooking food, but since I'm boiling water, it really doesn't matter. Just get it up there under the flame, and that's good to go. Those flames are a little bit higher than what I like, but for purposes of the demonstration, this is how we're going to roll. And the advantage of a small stove like this is you don't need a lot of tinder to get it going. As long as it's dry, you can find it just about anywhere. As opposed to a campfire where you're looking for big things to burn. That is not the case with a small hobo stove. Okay, and there we go. The bubbles are starting to come up, and that's just the right temperature for a cup of coffee. So a couple of more things that I will say, that if you're going to use these cans, make sure that you burn out the plastic film residue on the inside before you use it, and you can stick it over a fire to get that done. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me get this off here so I can demonstrate the use of the silicone pad with one hand. I don't know how it's going to go, but we'll give it a shot. If I scream, then you know it didn't work. There we go. So these pads are really nice, and I really like them. And that should be enough. Set that aside. And we've now brewed up a nice hot cup of Hobo coffee. This is the Cold War Sailor. I hope you enjoyed this video. Out.